welcome everybody to another channel vlog. My name, as always, is Maxwell, and it's been almost 2 weeks since I did a vlog, so I thought I'd bring you another video letting you know what the hell's going on, how everything has been, the plans are for the future, and just little bits and bobs, and then we're going to get on to some Q&A at the end. So you may have noticed that, I mean, over the last few weeks I've generally released 3 videos a day, and over the last week or so that's kind of tapered off a little bit, and in fact yesterday you didn't even get a World of Tanks video, so I just want to address these things first and foremost. Number one, I haven't been doing 3 videos a day just because the content hasn't really been there. There hasn't been that much to do. Been playing a lot of Elite and a little bit of Trove, and with the Arcade beta being out, I've been playing a bit of that as well, so that's obviously been a good source for videos. World of Tanks, I apologise massively for the no World of Tanks video on Friday, but I basically spent about an hour looking through World of Tanks replays, and it tends to be, as the amount of replays you get goes up, the general quality tends to go down. Like, I was getting replays where people had done sort of 500 or 600 damage and then died halfway through the battle, and I'm sat there watching it thinking, this isn't even good for me. This isn't even a good replay if I'd played it, and I'm not the best World of Tanks player in the world. So yeah, as the amount of replays you get goes up, the general quality seems to go down. So I spent about an hour watching replays yesterday, and I found one that I wanted to use, and then I was like, well, do I spend another hour possibly to try and find a second one that I want to use, or should I just get on with doing life things? So I decided to get on with doing life things. Sorry, and that's why there was no World of Tanks video yesterday. But rest assured, I'll put some time aside this weekend to basically sit and watch, because I am horrendously behind on replays at the moment. That's another thing I want to address. If you sent a replay in the last 4 weeks, chances are I still haven't watched it yet. The Crusader SP and the T34-3 replay that was up on Thursday, they were both sent in this time in July, so at least 4 weeks ago, possibly 5 weeks ago. So if you sent a replay in the last 4 weeks, I probably still haven't even watched it yet. I cleared half of my replay folder out, and I was like, yes, that's an achievement. I've cleared half my replay folder out, and then I went to my downloads folder, and there was still 220 replays in there still to watch, so I was like, oh. On the plus side, I am pretty much up to date with the emails, so everybody who has sent a replay, it's been downloaded now, but it is now just sat in the downloads folder, and like I said, there's over 200 in there, so I thought I was making a dent, but not really making a dent. So if you have sent a replay in, just be patient. I'm trying to get back on top of it, but it's difficult. I basically have to put aside a whole day just to watch replays, and that can tend to grind on you a little bit. Watching a whole day's worth of World of Tanks replays, you tend to start missing things, and replays that you would otherwise normally pick just fall by the wayside, unfortunately, and things slip through, as would be expected when you just do the same thing over and over again for an entire day. So, gonna try and get back on top of it, but if you have sent a replay in recently, I apologise that it'll probably be at least 3 to 4 weeks before. If you sent it in the last week, it'll be at least 3 to 4 weeks before it gets shown on the channel, unfortunately. But yeah, so there is that. So World of Tanks videos are staying as they are, just they're going to be one a day. It's either going to be a World of Tanks replay, or it's going to be a, better not do that, or it's going to be a live video. I'm trying to shorten the amount of live videos that I do, because let's face it, I'm not the greatest World of Tanks player in the world, and I only like to show replays if 1, they're really good, or 2, they're really entertaining. I suppose with the live stuff it can be entertaining if the banter's good, but yeah, that's a whole other matter. So World of Tanks videos are staying exactly the same. As for the other content, I'm actually really happy with how the Elite Dangerous stuff's going. It's actually been a lot more popular than I anticipated. It's getting not as good views as the World of Tanks stuff, let's face it, because most of you are here for the World of Tanks content, but it's getting really good views, a lot more than I was expecting. In fact, I think the best profit calculator trade run that I did got almost as many views as a World of Tanks video would, so I was very happy with that. So I'm going to be doing more Elite Dangerous videos. I'm just trying to think of a way of keeping them interesting, so fingers crossed, if the editing works out and everything today, I should have a new series piloting today after this video, probably a few hours after this one, whatever time of the day this one goes up. I'm recording it in the morning. So yeah, a new Elite Dangerous series piloting this evening. I say piloting because if you guys watch it and you don't like it, or you think the premise is crappy and it doesn't get the views, and it gets like 100 dislikes, then I'm not going to continue doing it. So this will be episode 0, and if you guys seem to like it, it gets good views, and you're commenting on it and saying the format is something that you would watch. I'm sorry, my nose is very, very itchy. I've got really bad hay fever today, actually. So if it is something that you guys seem like that you're going to enjoy, then I'll continue doing it, and we'll go on and we'll make episode 1 from episode 0. So yeah, other content. Thinking about doing some arcade videos, but what I've said in the past is making video content for an MMO tends to get very, very samey very, very quickly, because generally MMOs are very grindy, and the only kind of videos that get watched for MMOs tend to be tutorial, explanation and guide videos. So making real content for something like Arcade would be difficult, unless it's an actual serious review rather than the 61-second review that I posted last time, which was very, very popular, went down very well. In fact, I'm pretty sure 100% of the viewership thoroughly enjoyed that video. Minecraft sticking around, although the views for Minecraft tend to be dropping off a little bit, so it seems like the Skyblock isn't as interesting as maybe the Tekkit series was. I'm not sure why. I mean, obviously, the people who do watch it say that you really enjoy the banter and the talk, but to be honest, we could have the banter and talk no matter what game we played, or no matter what mod pack in Minecraft we played. So it seems to be like it's the Skyblock that isn't really as engaging for the viewers as I maybe hoped that it would be. I mean, looking at the views, they have dropped off significantly. I think over 1,000 people watched the first episode, and now we're getting sort of 400 to 500 views per video, which... excuse me, which has dropped off significantly. So might have to look at that. I mean, if you guys really do enjoy the Skyblock stuff, there is a comment section there, and I do read each and every comment, so let me know. But if it continues the same, then we may have to look at maybe switching to a different mod pack, but obviously keeping the same crew together with the same banter, because that's really what you guys enjoy, is the banter. The setting maybe not so much. Another thing I want to get onto, excuse me, really bad hay fever today. Another thing I want to get onto is the live streams. So, yes, the live streams have been on hiatus recently. To begin with, it was just the moving house thing, and they're getting everything set up and they're getting everything in place to get going again on the live streams. But now it's just, I know, there haven't been any live streams. Main reason for that is, I'm going to get into this because it ties into a question that I've been asked for the Q&A section later on, is I'm not one of these people who can just play the same game day in, day out, over and over again every single day. I get burned out on games very, very easily, which is why I don't play things like War Thunder anymore, because I just got burned out and didn't enjoy it. I've been lucky in that I'm able to sort of just play World of Tanks once or twice a week, and that has really extended the life of the game. If I tried to play it every single day, I probably would have gotten burned out and hated it. Something that happened with World of Warcraft eventually. Just got burned out on it, didn't enjoy it, still don't enjoy it to this day. But the World of Tanks, I've been lucky that I've been able to draw it out and only play it once or twice a week, which has allowed me to continue enjoying it and continue playing it. Live streaming, obviously, if I'm going to be playing it on Wednesday with Cirque, on Thursday and Saturday, and possibly another day of the week, that was just too much. I was starting to not enjoy World of Tanks anymore, and as soon as I stop enjoying World of Tanks, then that's bye-bye YouTube channel, because that's what it's founded on, basically. So yeah, that's the main reason for there being no live streams at the moment, and obviously a very busy personal life. No, your video didn't freeze there. I literally did just stand perfectly still for a brief second there. So yeah, that's really it. That's the number one reason for why there's been no live streams, just because I was starting to not enjoy World of Tanks anymore, and that's just not good. I do really love the game. Obviously, still only playing once a week. I still watch replays every single day, and I still keep up to date with the news. So I do keep up to date with everything, but playing it once a week allows me to enjoy it more for longer. So that's kind of where the live stream has gone at the moment. I might start doing live streams again, but if I do, it'll be more informal, more impromptu, and it won't be World of Tanks. So if I'm going to be doing, say, 3 or 4 hours playing Elite Dangerous and doing some trading runs, I might live stream that. If I'm going to be doing an evening of Arcade Beta with Redmore, then I might live stream that. I might live stream those things. So if I am going to live stream stuff in the future, it's not going to be World of Tanks, and it is going to be these games where they're basically big, expansive, open-ended type games like the Arcade and like the Elite Dangerous. So livestream channel hasn't gone away entirely, but at the moment it's just on hiatus because I was playing too much World of Tanks, which is basically it. I think that's about it for the announcements. So I want to quickly move on to the Q&A section. I did send out a tweet earlier on asking for questions for the Q&A. I really should have tweeted it out earlier, but I suddenly remembered that I really should. And people have tweeted me back a few questions. If you do want to get questions answered, then the best thing to do is follow me on Twitter and then just tweet at me whenever I ask, or just tweet at me in general, and I'll tweet back an answer, or I'll include it in a video like this. So, like I said, I did send out a tweet asking for some questions, and I got a few back, so we're going to go with those. So question number 1 is from Pointy Hair Jedi. You may have seen him. I've recorded a few World of Tanks videos with him before. A lot of the map changes videos I made a while back were with the help of him, and play platooned up with him with Circon sometimes. I'll probably put a link to his YouTube channel down there because he does some great World of Tanks content. You can go check that out. But his question is, how about which grind has made you swear the most so far? Now, you see, this is actually a very, very difficult question to ask, because most of the grinding that I did for World of Tanks was back in the day, back when the game was less than 6 months old. So normal grinds that would frustrate you, like the VK4502, was actually a really, really good tank. But I know it's a really, really good tank now, but it was that good back then, and then just gradually became horrible. So there weren't really that many grinds that made me depressed for my life, because nowadays, because I only play once a week and I only play fun tanks now, is that basically I free XP to everything. Like the AMX 5120, I just free XP to that. The other tanks, I basically just free XP to everything now, because I just play the fun tanks and then free up all the XP on that. So grind-wise, back in the day, there wasn't really that many painful grinds. And when I say back in the day, I mean when there was only German, there was Soviet, and there were American tanks. That was it. So there was no horrible British grinds, no horrible French grinds, no horrible Chinese grinds, none of that stuff. And all of the tanks were pretty competitive. I do remember that the A-20, the Soviet light tank, did make me hate my life for a while. But I think the only real grind that I really hated back then was the T1 Heavy and the M6, getting up to the T29. Once you got to the T29, the Sunshine came out and it was great. But playing through the T1 Heavy was just horrible. I hated the T1 Heavy. It was the worst tank I'd played. Probably still one of the worst tanks I've played. I mean, I know it's not that bad. I know people do have good games in the T1 Heavy, but I hate it. So probably the only grind that's ever made me want to cry is probably the T1 Heavy. Even playing through the M5 Stuart to get to the Chaffee when the Chaffee first released. I loved the M5 Stuart, especially with a big derp cannon, because you could really catch people off guard, and it was quite a tank. So yeah, that's probably it. Next question is from Squire Bennett. He asks, how did platooning change the game for you as compared to solo pubbing? Shudder. Yes, solo pubbing. Well, very, very simply, you can just take a look at my stats. Platooning made me go from a 49 to 50% player to a 55% player. But That does help that I'm probably platooning with two of the best World of Tanks players, well, at least two of the best public World of Tanks players. There are obviously some awesome World of Tanks players who don't stream and don't do YouTube videos, but Sir Fosh and Sir Sircon, and Pointy Head Jedi every now and then. Obviously some of the best World of Tanks players out there. So platooning with those awesome guys has... I mean, just looking at the stats, I went from a 49 or 50% player, I think I was hovering around about that point, to a 55% player, creeping up on 56%. So that should just speak volumes right there as to what platooning will do. I mean, the other good thing is obviously learning from them, watching what they do, watching the mistakes they don't make, and how they handle certain situations. Obviously, I mean, I know in my head, I mean, something that Jingles has said in the past, that he's a first-class strategist, a second-class tactician, and a third-class player. That's basically what it is with me, is I know all the strategy in my head, I know exactly how a situation should go, and exactly what I should do in certain situations, but translating that into fingers and making it happen in the game is another thing altogether, you guys will know. So, yeah. That's that's how it's helped me. Next one is from Cosmic Carry. He asks, what Xbox, question mark. Yes, I know. There hasn't been any World of Tanks Xbox 360 edition recently, and that's just literally because I don't have the Xbox in my office anymore. Obviously, I've got something called an AverMedia Live Gamer HD card built into my PC, and the Xbox would hook into that, then that would hook into the screen, and that's how it would be recorded as a pass-through. Unfortunately, my 3-year-old son broke our PlayStation 3, so the Xbox is now in the living room, so that we can watch DVDs and Netflix and Amazon Prime Video, is it called now? So yeah, the Xbox is required in the living room at the moment. So I might buy another capture card, like a Live Gamer Portable. But that's just an expense that I don't really want to spend at the moment, but might do in the near future. So what Xbox is on hold until 1, PlayStation 3 gets fixed, 2, we buy a PlayStation 4, or I buy a Live Gamer Portable, something like that. So yeah, sorry about that. I know a lot of you guys do like the 360 stuff. Next question is from Commander Alien, and he writes, did you get the Elite Expansion Pass? How high did you back it, and was that before or after I suggested it? I didn't buy the Elite Expansion Pack. That's just because when it comes to games, I'm rather frugal with the money that I spend. Just because I'd prefer just to pay for something monthly rather than one big lump sum, because at any point I could just stop enjoying it. Like I said, I get burnt out on games very easily. So with me, if somebody had said, oh, do you want to buy a year's worth of World of Warcraft subscription for the price of 11 months, I'd be like, well, no. I'd rather just pay 12 monthly subscriptions over the course of 12 months, because who knows, 6 months in I might stop enjoying it and not want to play it anymore, and then I've wasted 5 months worth of payments. So it's the same sort of thing with Elite. If I like the look of the expansion and I'm still playing it and whatnot, I'll just buy the expansion. Saving a few pound here and there isn't really that much of a concern for me. I know that sounds egotistical and the right prat thing to say, but let's face it, saving £5 or £6 isn't really that much, considering if I bought the expansion pass for £35 and didn't like any of the expansions and wasn't playing the game when it came out, I'd wasted a hell of a lot more money. How high did you back it, and was it before or after I suggested it? I bought the basic package, I think £50 to get into the standard beta. The reason for that is I'd always sort of intended to buy into Elite, but I assumed the price was always going to be the £100 right up until release, so I kind of just put it to the back of my mind and forgot about it. The reason I didn't back it in Alpha is, 1, it was £150, and 2, it was very, very feature incomplete. It didn't have much to the game at all. Even when the premium beta came out, there still wasn't really very much to it, and it was £100. So I had kind of just pushed it to the back of my mind, because I had intended just to buy the game once it had released. But then once Commander Alien had suggested that the standard beta was being released for £50, I thought, well, that's a price I can kind of get behind, and it's a lot more expanded, there's a lot more to it, it's a lot bigger. I think there's 55 star systems in now as opposed to the 8 that there was originally. So once Commander Alien had suggested that, that's when I decided that yes, it was probably about time that I would invest and have a go at the game. And it's worked out really well because I was a massive fan of the original. I even enjoyed Frontier, the second one, which I think got a bit of panning from a lot of critics, a lot of fans. But I actually really enjoyed Elite Frontier, the second one. So like I said, I'd always intended to play it and back it, just it was going to be a lot further down the line as opposed to in the beta phase. So yeah, and the videos have turned out to be incredibly popular. And like I said, there is going to be an Elite video later on this evening, so I'd like you guys to have a watch of that and let me know what you think in that video's comment section. Last question is from Ginger's Life, and it is: as you play both, which do you find better, what 360 or the PC? Do you think it's easy mode on the 360 as they get free 6 cents? It's different. It's good. I wouldn't say either one is easier. When 360 first released, anybody who was a PC player who came across will have just been a god in the game. Like, I think I had an 80% win rate, just because I understood the maps, I understood the tanks, I understood the tactics, and nobody else did, apart from the guys who played in the beta. So it felt like easy mode, but it wasn't really. As the player base and the tankers have matured over time, it's gotten a lot more competitive. When it comes to free 6 cents, it's not quite free 6 cents, because say you get spotted from a tank over on your left hand side, if you're not looking in that direction, your 6 cents doesn't go off. If you're looking sort of to the right and you get spotted from the left, you just get shot and you don't realise it. For the 366 cents to work, you have to be looking in the direction that you've been spotted from. I don't know why, because you don't automatically spot them back. So I don't know why it is like that, but that's how it is. You have to be looking in the direction that you're getting spotted from. But yes, it does make the game a bit easier. But I think with the speed of the controls, so sort of how quickly you can traverse your tank and your turret and everything, I think that is necessary. The free semi 6 cents, I think it is a necessary part of the game, which is why they've put it in there. But I actually think that the PC version's easier, just because I find it easier to control things with a mouse and keyboard. I think the response time from keys and a mouse is a lot faster than at least my response time with a pad. And getting the fine controls and the fine aiming a lot easier on the PC than it is on the Xbox. Obviously, the community on the Xbox isn't as seasoned as the community on the PC, so if you are a good PC player, you'll probably have a very easy time on the Xbox version as well. So in that regard, the Xbox version's a bit easier. So I would say it's about 50-50. You can't see my other hand. I'm doing that. It's about 50-50. On which one's the easiest for various different reasons. If you find that you are fantastic at using a pad, as opposed to me, who is much better at using a mouse and keyboard, then you're going to find Xbox 360 a hell of a lot easier than I am. And if you find that you can't use a pad for toffee, you're going to find the PC version a lot easier. So I think that just about answers all of the questions that everybody sent in. I'll just quickly refresh Twitter. Yep, that's it. So that's going to be it for this episode. I think I've been talking for well over 20 minutes now. I had only intended this video to be about 10-15 minutes long, but you know how it is when I do these vlogs. I do like to waffle somewhat. So thanks very much for watching, everybody. Takeaway points for this video if you've just totally forgotten everything I said. Number 1, I don't play World of Tanks very often because I get burnt out on games very easily. Number 2, that's why the live stream hasn't really been happening, because I got burnt out a little bit on World of Tanks. Number 3, live stream might come back, but it won't be World of Tanks. It'll be just general gaming. Maybe things like Elite Dangerous and Arcade. Maybe Arcade. In fact, I might. No, I'm not even going to say it. So that's the takeaway points from today. Hope you enjoyed the video. You guys are all absolutely awesome and absolutely brilliant. New Elite Dangerous pilot episode for a new series premiering tonight. Make sure you watch that. Leave me a comment in its comment section. Let me know what you thought. If you hated it, I won't make any more. If you love it, I'll continue making it. So thanks very much for watching, everybody. I've been Maxwell. This has been a channel vlog, and I'll catch you guys next time.